Together, everyone together, let's raise our voices in harmony. Someday soon we will all be free, if only we could all stand together. All we have is one small dream, one small glorious hopeful dream. And that's all we've ever had, help to pull us through. And all we ask for is one more miracle, one last long-awaited miracle. That is all we need to make our dreams come true. So let's all put our hearts and minds together. 1,000 glowing candles burning bright will become a force that can't be measured, and together we will drive away the night. So let's all put our hearts and minds together. 1,000 glowing candles burning bright will become a force that can't be measured, and together we will drive away the night, and together we will drive away the night.
That was extraordinary. And can I say to each of the families here, Australia stands with you. We stand with you in your grief and in your pain. As we say in the Jewish tradition, may the memories of your loved ones be a blessing. And in a moment, you'll hear from many of these family members, but first, a few prayers. The first is from the book of Psalms, offered for the victims and for the healing of the wounded. This will be followed by the Mishnah, Talmudic paragraphs traditionally said at the conclusion of the 30 days of mourning. And finally, Kaddish, a sanctification prayer, which will be said by 4 sons whose fathers were killed at Bondi: Yaakov Tetleroyd, Tzvi Kleitman, Shlomo Levitin, and Nosson Schlanger, also Zev Weitzen. Yaakov was also shot, and he's only recently come out of hospital. The prayers are mostly in Hebrew, the ancient language of the Bible. Now, I'll hand over to the rabbis for these prayers.
Shir Amailis LeDavid, Lulei Adinoi Shoyalano Yemerno Yisrael. Lulei Adinoi Shoyalano Bekum Aleinu Adam. Azai Chayim Blaunu, Bacharis Apam Banu. Azai Amayim Shtafunu, Nachla Over al Nafshenu. Azai Over al Nafshenu, Hamayim Hazidenim. Baruch Adinoi Shalei Nesananu Teref Lishineim. Nafshenu kitzipper nimleta mipach yekshim, hapach nishbar, va'anachnu nimlatnu. Ezreinu b'shem Adinoi, eise shamayim v'aretz.
Had it not been for the Lord who is with us, let Israel declare now. Had it not been for the Lord who was with us when men rose up against us, then they would have swallowed us raw when their anger was kindled against us. Then the waters would have washed us away illness would have passed over our soul. Then the wicked waters would have passed over our soul. Blessed is the Lord who did not give us as prey for their teeth. Our soul escaped like a bird from the hunter's snare. The snare broke and we escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth.
My friends, we will learn a Mishnah together, a Mishnah being the same letters as Neshama, soul. The great sage Hillel and Shammai, Kibla Mehem, they received from their teachers. And Hillel would say, Heve mitamidav shel Aaron. Each and every one of us need to be like a student of Aaron, the high priest. Who is Aaron? He was Oyev Shalom, a man that absolutely loved peace. But he didn't just love it, but Roid of Shalom. He pursued it. He devoted his entire life mission to it. Oyev Sabrios, he had this deep love for humanity, or Mekabel Torah, and every person that he met, he brought close to the values of Torah. Thank you.
I think we need the four sons to come up now.
Skada Shmei Rabba, Beom Ibra Kirusini Yamlik Mahuse, Vyachmak Purkone, Vigores Bishite, Bichaye Kone, Mekone, Bechaye Tobes, Destroyed, Bagogo, Bisman, Kore, Vinyo, Amen. Shmei Rabba, Mevorach, Lolam, Rome, Maya, Spoech, Vishtabach, Vispoe, Visoimon, Visnasei, Visadoi, Visalev, Visalol, Shmei, Vikushto, Brichu. Le'ero, Kol, B'choso, B'shiroso, B'choso, B'nechamoso, Kaminon, Bomo, V'imru, Amen. Al Yisrael, V'yar, Rabbanon, V'yar, Talmideoin, V'yal Kol, Talmidei, Talmideoin, V'yal Kol, Mondos, Kib, V'yaiso, Di, V'aso, Adein, V'di, V'chol, Asai, V'asai. Yehei, L'hoin, L'choin, Shlomo, Rabbo, Chino, B'chisto, Rachamin, B'chayin, Arichin, B'zoino, B'richo, V'kodom, V'kodom, Avoid, V'shmai, Shlomo, Amen. Yehei, Shlomo, Rabbo, Min, Shemai, B'chai, B'levet, B'lid, Malcho, Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oise, Sholem, B'imeimu, V'yaseh, Sholem, Oleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen.
Thank you for those moving prayers. The chief cantor of the Central Synagogue, Shimon Farkas, will now recite a Jewish prayer for the 15 departed souls. It's called the Kel Malah Rachamim. This will be followed by the first of 3 incredible videos where the family members tell us about their loved ones killed at Bondi. Their stories cannot and must not be forgotten.
Hail, Molei, Rachamim, Shoechein, Bameramim, Hametzei,
Hashem in kom domam shenirtzechu al ki yeduvush Hashem al yedei mechablim yimach shemam v'zichram ba'avur שבני ובני ישראל ויושבי סבל בכל עשר ועשר מקיימים מצוות רבות בזכותם בגן עדן תהא מנוחתם לכן בעל הרחמים יסתירם בססר כנפיו לעולם יהיים ויצרוב בצרי רחיים את נשמתם אדוני הוא נחלתם וינוחו על משכבם בשלום ונאמר
My dad was a smiling man. I think he always had a smile for every person that he encountered. Everybody loved him. I don't think there was a single person who didn't like my father. You know, he was able to put people at ease. I was always just amazed how he was able to fix everything. Whatever was going on, you know, in my life, he was able to find a solution for it.
He was very proud of being Jewish because where we come from, we had to hide it. He loved Bondi Beach, he loved his community, but most of all, he loved his family.
He was always there, and he stood by me.
He was always either singing, like randomly, playing music on the sax, on the guitar. He was very musical, and he loved it. This is one of many of his guitars and instruments.
He had a number of hardships during his life, and he was able to overcome and to be able to be normal and able to keep a smile on his face through it all. A very fond memory I have of him is just teaching me how to ride a bike. And that was when I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. And I can ride a bike today, thanks to my dad. I love him unconditionally. From the depths of my heart. Even though we're physically far apart, spiritually we're very close. Because his children are alive. My father is alive. And as difficult as it may be, we'll continue to live and to be Jewish people.
He filled his days with things that he thought would be helpful to others.
He's straight, treating people right.
Not a talker, but actions speak. He would make sure if someone called him, he was there.
He helped people find work. He helped people to fill in. He helped people in every which way he could.
And none of it he charged for. Everything he did for free, and he still managed to make time for his family. There was a little park across the road, just like a circle, and it doesn't exist anymore. We used to watch the Tour de France, and so we'd reenact it with each different cyclist and we'd race.
I did my project. We put maths equation on the walls. I was like, why don't we just draw numbers? And he spent half the night practicing the equations, doing the sum, the circles, and the special things. And I was like, why don't we just draw numbers now, full way, make sure everything's done properly.
It was almost annoying. You could do anything. Like, you'd be like, I'm going to do this. And I'd be like, you don't know how to sew. And be like, I'm going to find out. Go online, research it, came back, made people's broom costumes.
I wanted to be a shop, so he made me opening doors and puppets for my hands for the people. It's crazy. He sewed my brother like a Torah costume.
Pesach was another one where he started one year making coffee, like ground beans himself, so it was all kosher, so we could have it. And he distributed it out to a lot of families.
Somebody said to me, who's going to make the coffee now for Pesach?
The most important things I've learned from him is there's nothing you can't do. Sit down, try it out. You don't have to accept what you've been for so long. There's always 100 new things you can learn. It's pretty incredible what he was able to do. And hopefully we'll do also.
Always clean your room.
Always clean. Yeah.
The night before I conducted his memorial here in Sydney, there was a young guy from the community put up his hand to make a toast. Both Dan and this boy were playing against each other in Maccabees in Israel. He was playing for the Australian team, Dan was playing the French team. And Dan was this incredible dribble of the ball, and he just couldn't get the ball out of him. And eventually, out of frustration, he went for Dan and he just took him down to the ground. Instinctively, he was expecting a fight, because that's usually what happens. But Dan actually got up and gave him a hand, lifted him up and gave him a hug. That's exactly the kind of person he was.
Being with friends, being with family, he'd always talk about them, and football was his joy. He was always wanting to play football. People meeting him for the first time would say he's shy, but happy, always smiling. He loved to travel, loved to see new cultures. And then when he came to Australia, he fell in love with it. I feel privileged to have known Dan. Privileged to spend his last day together. when all this happened, my wife and I talking, we just said, we have to live life to the fullest. And that's what we have to do, because that's what Dan did.
I'd say the most common memory I've got of my mum is a protector, defender. Whenever you fall, whenever you're hungry, whenever you want a toy, she was there at the drop of a hat. That would be my mum. She was always beautifully manicured. From the day I can remember, she had these divine red fingernails. This is one of my favourite photos of my mum, because she just looks stunning. As my friends say, she looks like a Bond girl. I just can't believe that's my mum. She was welcoming and take you in and, yeah, have a chat. That person that you know is always there. Now I look back, that's the part you miss. We've only got a small family and always wanted to have dinner. Always called us, what are we doing? Family number one, and then her friendship group. They're the two most important things in her life. She always worried about others, especially as she was getting older, more so than herself. She was a good lady, good, very bossy. Just talk to anyone that worked with her in the kitchen, in the tuck shop. She used to get the mums, sort of boss them around. She was only a little soul, but if she didn't see something right, she'd speak up and say something. She really loved this place and what we as a community, all of us, and especially after what's just happened, what we should stand for. This is a good place, we're good people. We're not perfect, but be kind and good to each other. She's my mum. We've all got one. Cherish them while you've got them. All the good and bad.
So beautiful, those videos. It's so heart-wrenching, but so important to tell the stories of the lives lost. Their light must continue to shine. And we'll see 2 more of those incredible videos shortly. But now, can I please welcome the Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese, who has visited and been in close contact with the Chabad community of Bondi throughout the past month.
My fellow Australians, tonight should have been nothing more than a regular Thursday night, our beautiful city brightened by the light of another 15 lives. 15 lives illuminated by possibility, opportunity and dreams. Tragically, we are gathered here tonight because on the 14th of December, everything changed. And for that, I am sorry. We cherish the promise of Australia that this country is a safe harbour. But sadly, that promise was broken. You came to celebrate a festival of light and freedom, and you were met with the violence of hatred. I am deeply and profoundly sorry that we could not protect your loved ones from this evil. We gather here tonight, drawn together in one Australian icon, to mourn the devastation inflicted at another. Tonight we stand in solidarity with Jewish Australians, and we affirm and we reaffirm the shared values of unity, compassion and resilience that define our great nation of Australia. When we look to Bondi, we see it not just as a beach, but as a part of our promise to the world, a welcoming embrace, that famous crescent of sand and water where there is room for everyone, a place where nothing should break but waves. And yet there, on that most fateful of evenings, our hearts were collectively shattered. The attack was anything but random. Jewish Australians were targeted because they were Jewish. Let me say this clearly and unequivocally. An attack on Jewish Australians is an attack on all Australians. It was an atrocity perpetrated in the heart of this city, in a place that dwells in the very heart of our identity. Tonight in this building that has seen so many displays of carefully composed passion play out across its stages, we are joined in a grief that is all too real. A grief with no ending, only a beginning. Grief is love wrapped around an absence. The imagined silhouette in the doorway, the longed-for footsteps in the hallway that never come. It is the voice desperately held onto as it passes into the realm of memory. It is the unanswerable desire for one more conversation, one more embrace, even just one more glimpse. It is the glow that shines, bereft through the cracks of broken hearts. That is the love that those 15 souls inspired. That is the love they created. Love is the light that brightens our days and lifts our hearts, yet in grief we feel its weight. And for that weight to be felt like this by a community that has carried such a burden of suffering across generations is a cruelty beyond measure. As we look back on those most difficult days, when the lighting of each candle in the menorah felt like an act of defiance in the face of evil, we return to the messages of Hanukkah, the message of hope, of resilience, and of the need to keep sending the glow of those candles out into the world. Those who attacked you did not count on your spirit. In the weeks since the world was upended, you have not retreated. You have not hidden away in fear. Instead, you have shown profound strength. You inspired a movement that has swept right across the country. The One Mitzvah campaign, where everyday Australians are taking on a single act of kindness, was sparked by your example. As Rabbi Ullman, Rabbi Wolf and Shana Gutnick have reminded me in recent days, mitzvah doesn't just mean a good deed, it also means a connection. In just 2 syllables, that one powerful Hebrew word tells us how good deeds can bind a society together. You showed us that resilience is so much more than survival. It is about defying hate with unstoppable goodness. You have taught a grieving nation that the only way to defeat darkness is to add the light. And through the sheer power of your example, you have reminded us that just as modern Australia was born out of an instinct to unify, That same instinct is the one that guides us still. The great Australian urge to pull together will always be stronger than those who seek to drive us apart. The reason they cannot succeed is as simple as it is powerful. You do not stand apart from us. You are a part of us, an essential part. The Jewish community is at the very heart of the Australian story. From the moment that Esther Abraham stepped off the First Fleet, barely a handful of metres from where we are tonight, Jewish Australians have been part of the remarkable story of our continent. You gave us our greatest soldier, Sir John Monash, whose very name is a byword for the courage we see at the heart of our national character. You gave us intellect and dignity in leaders like Sir Isaac Isaacs and Sir Zelman Cowen. In every field of human endeavour, Jewish Australians have helped build this nation, generation after generation, with energy, with creativity, with generosity. A vital thread that runs through the fabric of this nation is Jewish. And just as Jewish Australians have been a crucial part of our history, you are essential to the even greater future that is within our reach. You are not just accepted, you are valued, you are cherished. You have the right to pray, to learn and to live as proud Jews without looking over your shoulder. Australians are committed to driving anti-Semitism from our shores because it stands in opposition to all we are as a country, the nation we have built together with care and compassion over generations. A week after the massacre, when Rabbi Ullman spoke of the 15 souls that we mourn tonight, he described the light that each had brought into the world. May their memories be a blessing, and in their name we will work to open all eyes to that light, because that is the light that will win. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for your apology, your acknowledgement. Prime Minister, your acknowledgement just now that the community was let down is a crucial step, and your apology tonight was important to hear, and it goes a long way. We thank you for that, and you are right to say that our hearts were shattered that terrible evening and over the past 2 years. Now for one of the most special moments of the night. Label Lazaroff is a 20... I see he needs no introduction. He's a 20-year-old from Texas who was in Australia to study and volunteer at Chabad when he was shot at Bondi. Under live fire, he helped save the life of nearby Australian police officer Scott Dyson. And Liebel has been in the hospital ever since. He had 10 operations, perhaps more, and spent more than 20 days in ICU. He only got out of hospital not just today, but a mere 4 hours ago. Liebel is also a talented pianist, and in between surgeries he played in hospital. Before the attack, he was filmed playing a beautiful melody at Chabad of Bondi, together with Rabbi Ullman's son-in-law, Rabbi Meir Willinken. After the attack, Liebel was filmed again in hospital, playing the same melody with friends. And we're going to have a look at some of those moments now. And it is now my absolute privilege to welcome to the stage the extraordinary, courageous hero, Rabbi Liebel Lazarov.
Shimcha Lai Shachanu
this not encapsulate the resilience and courage of this heartbroken community? Out of hospital just a few hours ago. It's amazing.
My name is Larissa Kleisman. I'm a widow now for my husband, Alex Kleisman. We were together for 57 years, and we just started planning how we will be celebrate our 60s and his 90s. But unfortunately, no more plan for this. You see, this is one of his pictures. But if you look all his pictures, his expression on the face will be the same. He was a really happy person. And he was full of life, absolutely. He was so happy and proud about his kids and grandkids. He was very good engineer. His first project in Australia was Olympic Stadium, what bring him very, very happy. Then it was tunnel under the bridge. Then it was destination plan and a lot of stuff like this. He was very proud to be who he is, to be Jews. And when it happened on the 7th of October, he started to go visit shopping center. We'll keep, I ask, what are you doing? I want all of them know I am the Jewish. Not be ashamed, be Jewish, be proud to be Jewish. You know now, I have his picture on my table. And any time when I do something, I just speak with him. It's exactly him, absolutely.
Mamachka was a constant source of wisdom, love, and encouragement. She was a dedicated wife of 48 years to her husband Pavel, who was with her on the day of the attack. He was critically injured. Mom was his strength, and we know she is looking over him and pulling him through this toughest time. And we do all believe our dad will have his life back. In our eyes, there were an admiration to an ideal marriage. Our Mamachka was an amazing grandma to her beautiful grandkids, Gabrielle, Liana, and Amelia. Having the whole family together over the most delicious foods would always bring her joy. All-time favorite for the whole family was plov, that will be deeply missed by all. From childhood to adulthood, we shared an amazing bond, a bond like no other. She was the person we could turn to for advice and wisdom, and would always confide and look for help when we needed. While we mourn Mom's passing, we take comfort knowing her legacy lives on through her children and grandchildren. We will forever be grateful for the unconditional love she gave us. Her kindness and warmth touched everyone she met. Losing her leaves an ache in our hearts, but also inspiration to live life to the fullest and have that zest for life as Mom always had. Our beautiful Mamachka, fly high. You will always live in our hearts and forever will be missed.
My very first memory of Peter was our first date, and we went to a rugby match because we both loved rugby. And I remember thinking he was very protective, possibly because he was an active policeman at the time. There was a presence about him that was comforting, gently comforting. Peter was quiet, he was gentle.
Humble, very, very humble and patient.
He didn't seek recognition or accolades. He loved being a photographer. He loved capturing those moments that, through an image, lend permanency. It made him happy to do what he did and to give those memories to people. That was a special gift.
I've used other photographers as well. No one ever mentioned the photographer behind the camera except Peter. During the event, they always at some point served dessert, and I could see Peter looking at it and really want to get some of it and trying to stop himself from getting any of the sweet stuff.
He loved his sweets. Very much so. When I got home from work, I would know how many cups of tea he had because there were 4 or 5 teaspoons in the sink. So those are little mementos I will always have etched on my memory. I wear his wedding ring around my neck, and I wear it close to my heart because he will always be there, my little piece of Peter forever. Thank you for picking me. I'm grateful and honoured. Thank you for being you.
My father immigrated at the age of 14 from the USSR into Australia as a refugee with absolutely nothing.
We met upon the beach when I was almost 17. We managed to do so much together in those 43 years together. There's never a boring moment in our life. We managed to live 3 lives together in not one life.
His love was not something you just felt, it's something that you saw in every inch of him, in his smile, the way his eyes crinkled, the way his shoulders shook when he laughed. He loved his friends and family so loyally and so fiercely, and that was something never taken for granted.
His grandchildren brought him the most joy, without a doubt.
Because nothing you could say what his girls. No, it didn't exist.
Spending time with us made Zeta really happy. Getting hugs from us made Zeta really happy.
That was his world.
And Zeta would read us bedtime stories. Zeta would read for hours.
Sometimes he'd come, let's say 6:30, 7 o'clock to read them a story, and then at like 8:30, I'd remember that he was still in their room reading to them. So I have to go and be like, okay, it's bedtime now. Shreya, time to go home, and Rosie and Esther, time to go to sleep. He was a teddy bear, but he was also a bear. He always had a smile. He was always happy, playful, funny, but also nothing was going to get in his way to protect his family, to protect his people, like a papa bear.
He truly lived by, don't just say, do it. Whatever needed to be done, he did it quickly, quietly, no fanfare, just get the job done.
He would go to his friends and be like, okay, this is what needs to happen. Who's joining me? He always used to say that God gives you the ability to help someone, you have to think about how that's going to benefit others as well.
His biggest lesson as well, which he showed us in his final moments, was to be so proudly Jewish and hold our heads proud in our faith and just keep marching forward.
The number of people who called me and told me, and he came to see me, they said, thank you, because of his courage, because of his loyalty, because of his care for his community, and that they are alive today. It gives me kind of strength, and that is and was my husband.
I mean, Reuben Morrison, another incredible hero, and there is no question he would still be alive today if he didn't put his own life at risk by going to try and stop the shooter. With his bare hands, he tried to stop the shooter. That's the sort of courage he had, and we hold all of these families in our hearts, and we'll see the final video honouring the victims in a moment. As the community grieves, the New South Wales Premier Chris Minns has been from hospital to hospital visiting those shot on December 14. He also knows that this could have been an even greater tragedy had those bombs detonated. It's thanks to the Premier that we have this beautiful event here tonight, and can I please welcome Premier Chris Minns.
Thank you, friends. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Honoured guests, friends, and most importantly, families. The book of Isaiah tells us that the people that walked in darkness have seen a brilliant light, and on those who dwelt in a land of gloom, light has dawned. Today's date for this National Day of Mourning was chosen after speaking with the Chabad community, who in a poignant gesture asked that this evening coincide with the Shloshim, the 1 month mark following the death and burial of a loved one. Many rabbis have told me that whilst the pain remains and the grief continues, the 1 month mark is a transition where we begin to search for meaning, to find purpose, to take action, and even to ask questions, sometimes difficult questions. In the midst of our grief, many people in our country have asked, can this nation truly live up to its promise that we would accept anyone, anywhere, and have them live side by side in peace and safety, free to live your life, raise your family, and practice your religion? It's a bitter reality to realise that this was a dark and evil crime committed here in Australia, and that we are not immune to the kind of darkness that would see a family decide to maim and kill another family simply because they were practicing their religion. But the story of Hanukkah is not that darkness doesn't exist, but rather that it can be extinguished with light. Scripture tells us that we can defeat evil, but crucially, not by doing nothing. We need to light the candle. So the message tonight is, and it must be, that Australia can live up to that original promise, but we must take action, and indeed we must change. I think we start with fighting hate wherever we see it. Racism, anti-Semitism. It's corrosive to our community, and it's everyone's responsibility to stand up against it. We must also accept that words lead to actions. It's intolerable for anyone to suggest that another Australian doesn't deserve a safe space, cultural or any other kind. Everyone deserves safety. It's the minimum obligation of a civilised society. And lastly, We must unabashedly take pride in the parts of Australian life that are intrinsically part of our character and our country: democracy, freedom, respect and equality. And should someone refuse these basic and non-negotiable aspects of our country, we have to have the confidence to say that Australia is just not the country for you. Now, friends, I think the good news is that nearly everyone that comes to this country wholeheartedly agrees with that trade. It's the very principles that drew millions of people from around the world to these shores. People like Boris and Sophia Gurman, who came to this country, joined a community, started a family, and as their son Alex recounted, died confronting a gunman armed with nothing but their courage. People like Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who came to Australia from Syria. Ahmed. Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who came from Syria and said on social media as he was travelling home from America last week, yes, Ahmed, I was on your social media. He said this: "You'll love it. It's beautiful. I deeply miss my beloved Australia, and I am counting the days until I return. My heart's already there, with its people, its spirit, and the life that I'm proud to call home." The months and years ahead will require difficult conversations and tough decisions, but as Rabbi Ullman tells us, it will be made easier by remembering to perform a mitzvah, a moment of kindness and understanding. That might be supporting someone in need, practicing some gratitude, leading with warmth, instilling hope in the next generation, because these simple acts will bring more light into our lives, and we need that light right now. Something that struck me from the very first moments of this horrible tragedy was that it was the Jewish community that was the first to hold up that candle of hope. You did it in the moments where parents, friends, uncles shielded children from bullets. In the moments when ordinary Jewish Australians confronted the gunman. With the brave and gracious words that you spoke to farewell your loved ones. And tonight, as you lead a national gathering of unity and remembrance. So to the Jewish community, I want to say thank you. Because of your strength and resilience, you've shown how to unite a nation and bind up its wounds. And in return, I hope tonight sends a very clear message to you from everyone else in Australia. You are not alone as you mourn. I hope you've seen that in the actions of young police officers like Scott Dyson and Jack Hibbert, who would not have missed tonight, and we're very happy that they're here. In the surf lifesavers, in the paramedics who rushed to the scene. I want to include the Leader of the Opposition in New South Wales, Kelly Sloan, who did exactly the same thing. in the people that lined up in blood banks and the thousands of surfers who paddled out in Bondi. These people represent the real Australia. And the message those actions send is that we stand with you tonight and every night as you heal. Finally, just as you reclaim Bondi Beach, tonight you've taken back the Opera House as well. Friends, can I say that's what exactly the Opera House is for? Not a place of hate with loudspeakers and racism, with flares and hateful symbols, but a location of peace and unity. Tonight, we gather in our most important building to bring out the best in Australia. Thank you.
Their view of what a fulfilling life would look like is to just have a positive impact on those around you. My dad wasn't too far off my age when he fled Ukraine with my mum and myself. They kind of took the ultimate risk, moving to a foreign country, no money, no language, with a child, and no idea how they were going to make it work. But their values and principles guaranteed success. Their philosophy was always, you'd rather be the person providing the help than need to be on the receiving end. They were very respectful of others, very principled, very loving people. The very, very core of everything was families first. You don't choose them, but they are always number one. My mum was always the go-to person for expertise or outside. She always seemed to have the most sensible, logical, well-thought-out answer, whether it be days later, weeks later, months later, always come to the conclusion that she was kind of correct. This is just a little cookbook that she keeps of cuisines spanning from Africa to Asia and variety of different styles, not all of which I've experienced, but some of which I've heard about from family or friends that have tried. Boris, who's, I guess, maybe more the calming presence in the family, very organised, tremendously handy, and actually eventually he took on the role as being the kind of de facto quasi-maintenance person around our apartment. Both parents, but particularly Dad, loved animals. And so this is him with a random dog. Every good characteristic that I embody now, I owe entirely to them if given the choice. A million times over, I would choose the same upbringing, the same parents, the same value set. Nothing would change because, candidly, I think I've hit the jackpot.
He was very positive. Don't judge anybody. Give everybody the benefit of the doubt. He was very proud. Very proud grandfather, very proud father, very proud great-grandfather. The first birthday of Renee, my granddaughter, the smile. Family was everything for him. Yeah. He was a very, very warm person, and
community was very important too to him. He loved to help for people.
This award he got at the gala dinner in 2015 from the Chabad Bondi. It was an award for his commitment and volunteering.
He loved the volunteer job. If you need something, he was always there for everybody. It's without any question. And once a week we run a club for elderly Russians for 18 years.
We talked about everything and anything. Books, politics, music. This is the last book that he actually started reading, and he said, "You have to read it." I said, "Sure, Dad. You'll finish reading it, and I'll borrow it from you." It's an ice cream. Oh my God. I didn't even realize, I swear.
Yeah, it was an ice cream. He said, life is so short, so eat ice cream. Every evening was ice cream. Yeah.
So what, he ate the ice cream and he left? He didn't want anybody to be harmed. He didn't want anybody to suffer. And I think these days, what we're going through, I think he would say, stop it.
Ellie had a way of connecting with everyone, no matter what age and who they were and where they were in life.
He made sure to take notice of every single person and what they needed.
I was like having a bad day at school, and I'd come home in a terrible mood, and then we'd go on a drive and we'd get Dr. Pepper and we'd go sit by the Harbour Bridge and just talk for hours. And it literally put me in the best mood ever.
Family, his children, he would wake up talking about them, go to sleep talking about them. They were his joy in his life.
Whenever he walked into my house, which was super often, I felt very cozy and hugged. He was positive, he was excited. I just felt so good when he was around.
Ellie was very funny, like hilarious. I remember just being annoyed when you don't want to laugh, but he just made me laugh all the time. Sometimes he would just rock up at my workplace and steal my lunch, and he'd eat my salad. Other times he'd just be there, even without realizing that I needed him.
If it wasn't about his kids and his family, it was about his community. And I think that's why he had so much joy, because he was a giver. Huge giver.
Yeah. He saw the miracles and the small things in everyday life. Him and his Judaism, everything was just intertwined. It was who he was.
I think Ellie wants us to not waste time. Look at the good in each other. Everyone has good. And do good, and let's get on with it.
This was her first toy. We decided to give her a middle name as a B. She's just a little bumblebee of happiness. Her smile just was bringing a light, you know. She will light up everyone who walks past, and she was bringing a light in this world. No one seen her with no smile on her face. She loved math, she was playing chess. Judo. Swimming. She loved to travel.
Hello guys, my name is Matilda. We're going to Thailand.
She loved they also watch our neighbors that walk past in front of where we live. They walk the dogs and they have to pet them.
She loved capybaras.
She started to write a diary. There is 4 chapters already. It was all happy stuff. Talking about my crush. It's like pages dedicated to capybaras. It was all happy stuff.
I would normally play like a game with her at the park.
Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
We would like ride the scooters, we all race.
They love to sing, they love to dance. What's that, Wednesday dance? Wednesday dance. She was very, very peaceful and very kind, you know. I'm sorry that this world is much worse than she was.
I'll never forget the moment I was broadcasting live on the night of the terror attack from Bondi, and a doctor came off the scene and he came to speak to me and he said, live on air, that a 10-year-old girl had been shot. And I just thought, how could that happen? How could that be the case? That a beautiful 10-year-old girl is at Bondi Beach and is gunned down. And Michael, Valentina, you're the most incredible, beautiful parents. And Summer, I know you're here somewhere, but Summer misses her big sister so much. Yeah. It's just an irreplaceable whole. To the families who took part in all of those videos, thank you so much for sharing your courage. Thank you for your courage in sharing your loved ones with Australia. Can I now please welcome the Federal Opposition Leader, Susan Lee.
It has been an honour and a privilege to stand with the Jewish community in the days following the Bondi terror attack, and to stand for Jewish Australians in the Parliament of Australia this week. "39 days on from the attack at Bondi, we remember 15 lives that were taken, 15 lights that must never go out. Each life was precious, each was deeply loved, and each leaves behind family, friends, and a community forever changed by that night. To those who grieve, to the survivors, to the first responders who ran towards danger that night, we hold you close today. This attack took place on the first night of Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. A night that should have been filled with joy and hope was instead marked by darkness and hate. Many never imagined such a thing could happen here in Australia, in this, the luckiest of lucky countries, and yet it did. In the midst of that darkness, we also witnessed extraordinary humanity. Strangers protected strangers. ordinary Australians acted with courage and selflessness. First responders, surf lifesavers and medical teams showed professionalism, care and courage and such compassion. It saved lives. Those acts do not lessen the pain, but they remind us of who we are. In the days that followed, the community showed a powerful response. At Bondi Pavilion, people gathered peacefully. Candles were lit, songs were sung, faith shone through. This was a mitzvah in the truest sense, a choice to respond to violence with peace, to hatred with dignity, and to darkness with light. We will remember these 15 blessed souls, not just as victims of a terrible crime, but as vibrant individuals who lived and loved and contributed enormously to our country. We honour them not only in sorrow, but in the way we choose to stand together. May their memories be a blessing. The light of those we lost lives on in all our hearts. Friends, in October 2023, the worst of Australia tried to co-opt this iconic building as a backdrop for hate, as a prop for inciting violence and glorifying terrorism. Tonight, how good it is in January 2026 that we take back the Opera House. And not just for Jewish Australians, but for all Australians. And this is my pledge to Jewish Australians, that I will fight every single day for an Australia where you are respected, valued, loved and safe.
Thank you, Susan. The next song was written specifically for Bondi by two musically talented brothers who were performing at a wedding while their wives and children were at the Hanukkah gathering, and they were lucky to survive. The song is partly in Hebrew and partly in English. Introducing now Mizzy and Ezri Israel.
של שמחה ואמונה, משפחות, ילדים וחברים, בלב פתוח, באהבת ישראל.
They came with families, hearts full of life, with nothing but hope for a night of love. כי האור שלהם לא כבה, והאמונה לא נשברה, על קידוש השם נלקחו, ועל קידוש השם נחיה.
תלמד אותנו להסיר את החשכה, איך לאהוב ואחד על השני לשמור. ניתן לנו תקווה, שמחה ואמונה, תראה לנו אור של הנצח יאיר.
carry. We become the lights they were.
לא כזיכרון של מוות, אלא כצבא של חיים. להיות טובים יותר, להיות חמים יותר, להתאחד כעם אחד ולהמשיך בלי לפחד. Every act of kindness, every candle we light,
May the memories of those who lost be a blessing. May the injured be healed. May our sorrow be comforted. And may God give us the strength to make goodness prevail. Light will win Mashiach now.
אלו הקדושים, אלו הנשמות. We will live with more meaning. We will love without fear. We will carry them forward year after year.
ריבונו של עולם, קבל את נשמותיהם ברחמים, ותן לנו כוח להיות המשך שלהם.
That was just so beautiful. Thank you for that beautiful song. And you might have noticed in the video that that was 14-year-old Chaya Dadon, who came out of... Yes. Chaya came out of her safe hiding spot to protect children she didn't know after their father had been shot. And then Chaya was shot in the leg while protecting those children. She is unbelievable. For those watching at home, there's a huge standing ovation at the Opera House for Chaya. I'm not meant to do this, but Chaya, do you want to come up for a minute? Chaya, come up for a minute. We'll just bring Chaya up here for a moment, just for a moment. She's walking slowly because it's not so easy for her to walk. She was shot in the leg. So just again, Chaya came out of her safe hiding space to protect two little children, I think 2 and 5 years old, that she'd never met before, after their father had been shot and nearly died. Incredible, Chaya. I mean, you've met those, without saying any names, you've met those children now, you've been reunited with them. What was that moment like?
It was like, there's no way to describe it. It was like, instead of, thinking like, this is bringing me back to those traumatic moments, it was just like a reminder of how important, how amazing, the nation has stood up from such a horrific event. And I feel like when I saw them, it wasn't like a flashback to all the traumatic times. It was more like a little reminder, this is it, this is our strength and this is everything coming back. And it's so much more than a little moment. It was something so full of there's no even words to describe it.
And I don't want to run behind time, but maybe one just last question. You told me that you had this voice in your mind saying, go save those children. It was like a voice inside you, maybe a message from God.
And I feel like me having the platform to talk about this is such an important lesson for every single one of you to take. Just like God, gave me that prophecy in that moment, it's like that's every single one of you can find that in yourself, and it's just about tapping into that level of spirituality. And I feel like you all have the potential, and we know Hashem, God has brought us down here for a reason. And even if it's hard to find it, I promise it's always there. And you guys
And just 14, incredible courage. All right. Rabbi Ullman is the spiritual leader of Chabad of Bondi, which organized the Hanukkah by the Sea event. His son-in-law, Rabbi Eli Schlanger, was among those killed. And Rabbi Ullman knew many of the victims personally. He's been guiding devastated families while carrying his own deep grief. Rabbi Ullman is the strength, the rock, the backbone of his community. And Rabbi Ullman joins us now to share his reflections.
My dear friends, here in Australia and across the world, I will not speak tonight in platitudes. I will share what is on my heart. The last 30 days or more have been the most painful days of my life. I have looked in the eyes of widows and orphans and parents who have lost a young child. I have seen the suffering of the wounded and the anguish of the families. I have buried dear friends and mourned the loss of my own son-in-law. I believe I speak for many when I say we have felt an emptiness so heavy it could crush us. But in that void, something else appeared, something miraculous. These 30 days have witnessed an awakening in a country like I've never seen before. I have seen an Australia that did not just watch the news, but stood up to change the story. We saw a bipartisanship that is rare in this fractured world. We saw the Prime Minister and the opposition leader, our state premier and local MPs, leaders who don't often agree, but on this they have agreed that hate has no home here and that the Jewish community is family. I want to take this opportunity also to thank our Prime Minister, who, as a leader of this country, has taken responsibility and apologized for the tragedy that has occurred. I want to express my gratitude personally and on behalf of my community to every Australian who sent a letter, laid a flower, waited in line to donate blood, or gave financial support to the bereaved. You did not just offer comfort, you restored our faith in humanity. To our leaders and to everyday citizens and neighbors, I say thank you. And I must share something deeply moving. In the midst of our grief, something has stirred within the Jewish community. People are returning. Jews who once felt distant are stepping into the synagogues, opening a prayer book, asking questions, and choosing to live Jewishly again. And I believe this is not a momentary response. It is the Jewish soul remembering who it is. Standing here tonight, recognizing the strength of this country and the resilience of my people, I say with full conviction, I have never been a prouder Jew, and I've never been a prouder Australian. We look around at this kindness, this unity, and we might say 30 days on, the world is brighter today. But for families, for the community, the pain remains raw. The void left by 15 beautiful souls is vast. Their physical absence is a wound still deep and aching. And in my pain, I have found comfort in an ancient Jewish story. The Talmudic sage Hananiah ben Tradion was executed by the Romans for teaching Torah. They wrapped him in a Torah scroll and set it on fire. And as the flames rose, his students cried out, "Rebbe, a rabbi, a teacher, what do you see?" And he answered, "The parchment is burning, but the letters are flying upward. The body can be destroyed, but the soul cannot." In fact, those 15 souls we lost live on in millions of hearts that they touched and continue to touch. The Lubavitcher Rebbe taught that when a soul leaves the confines of the body, it is no longer limited by time or space. It becomes present everywhere, in all the lives it touched. Before, these 15 souls were individuals. Now they are a movement. And they are more present now because they live in countless hearts at once. Every mitzvah we do, inspired by them, that is their presence. They are the engine of this awakening. My friends, this is our charge. The transformation has begun, but we must sustain it. If we want to honor these souls, we must not only remember them, we must act with them. When we keep Shabbos, they are keeping it with us. When we put on tefillin, they are binding themselves to God through us. When we fill our homes with Torah, we are giving the letters a place to land. And this call is not only for Jews. Our tradition teaches that all humanity has sacred responsibilities to respect life, reject violence, act honestly, honor family, and build a just society. When anyone chooses these values, they are doing a mitzvah and strengthening the moral fabric of the world. We are writing the next chapter of history. Let it be a chapter of unity, strength, and unshakable light. May we see the day when pain is no more, when hatred loses its power, and when light finally wins with the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi Ullman, for that powerful address and for your incredible leadership over the past month. We've heard tonight from heartbroken families, and I say to you all here at the Opera House and watching from home, please do not let them stand alone. There are widows and children, there are parents who've lost a child, and families trying to rebuild day by day, all while struggling to live. This is not a well-off community. I've spent time with many of these families, and I can tell you they would never ask for a thing. But let us ease their suffering ever so slightly by giving whatever you can, no matter how small. And you can donate to www.charity.com/support Sydney. This is a fundraiser being run by the Chai Charitable Foundation and Support Sydney in association with Jewish House. The link will be on your screen, and I'll repeat it, www.charity.com/support Sydney, and even $5 or $10 helps. In honour of these Australians gone too soon, we all have to do everything in our power to prevent such terror from striking our nation again. I have to say, watching Canberra this week has been disheartening. I implore all sides of politics, put the bickering aside. Work together to crack down on the threat of terror, to act against anti-Semitism, and to make sure we can all of us, walk the streets without worrying about our safety. Now, for those watching at home, thank you for caring. Thank you for wrapping your arms around the Jewish community in our darkest hour. We thank you for your tears and your solidarity from the bottom of our hearts. As this event now nearly draws to a close, Rabbi Ullman's son, Rabbi Mendy Ullman, will lead us in the Jewish prayer called the Shema, the most fundamental expression of faith. He'll follow this by continuing the 3,000-year-old tradition of writing a new Torah scroll. And for anyone who doesn't know, the Torah is the holy scripture of Judaism. Certain dignitaries here will be given the honour of witnessing this. We'll then finish the night with song I still call Australia home. Here's Rabbi Mendy Ullman.
We can all rise for reciting of Shema. Everyone can put their right hand over their eyes, and we'll say together, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. We'll say like a fight. Can be seated. The Shema prayer is a timeless declaration of unity, affirming the oneness of God and the oneness of responsibility we share as human beings. In the world that feels increasingly fractured, the unity is exactly the healing that we need. We learn this lesson from the holiest object in Judaism, the Torah scroll. A Torah scroll is written by hand with absolute precision. If one letter is missing, the entire scroll is entirely incomplete. It cannot be used. This technical rule carries a profound spiritual truth. There are no small letters. There are no insignificant lives. Just as a scroll depends on every letter for its integrity, humanity depends on every individual for its wholeness. When one life is lost, the entire scroll of humanity is diminished. That is why we're writing a global unity Sefer Torah. Thousands of people from all over the world will come together to dedicate a letter. We are transforming pain into presence and loss into legacy. Because every letter matters. Every soul is essential. And together we choose light. Light will win. Thank you very much.
Terror struck our Bondi community. In its wake came loss, fear, and a darkness that lingered. But the Jewish response is not to cower or retreat. We don't give up. Instead, we give it our all. We rebuild. We add light. For thousands of years, the Torah has been our guiding light, teaching us to sanctify life, respect all beings, and see the divine in every person. In the Torah, every letter has its place, its role, its meaning. Every letter says, you are not forgotten. We are still here. Join us in bringing a new Sefer Torah into the world. Each letter an act of remembrance. Each life forever imprinted in our story. Our Torah will find its home here in Bondi as a source of comfort and connection. A source of life.
So as Rabbi Mendy Ullman just said, we will now witness the start of the year-long effort to write a new Torah scroll in the 3,000-year tradition of inscribing it on parchment by hand with a feather quill. To witness this momentous occasion, we call upon communal leaders who've been outstanding in their friendship and support. Please welcome to the stage Israeli Ambassador Amir Maimon, Acting United States Ambassador Erica Olson, Indian High Commissioner Gopal Bagli, Cabinet Minister Tanya, Liberal Senator Dave Sharma, former Howard Government Minister Philip Ruddock, New South Wales Multiculturalism Minister Steve Camper, the co-CEO of the Executive Council of Australian Jewry, Alex Rivchin, the President of the Australian Jewish Association, Dr. David Adler, and the President of the New South Wales Jewish Board of Deputies, David Ossip.
אתה מושיע, אני מאמין. אוי בביאס המושיע, בביאס המושיע, אני מאמין. ואני מאמין.
And apologies, we are also honouring the French ambassador Pierre-André Imbert. This is now the conclusion of the event in song.
I've been to cities that never close down, from New York to Rio and old London town. But no matter how far or how wide I roam, yeah, I'm always traveling. I love being free, and so I keep leaving the sun and the sea. But my heart lies waiting over the phone. I still call Australia home. All the sons and daughters spinning round the world, away from their family and friends. But as the world gets older and colder, it's good to know where your journey ends. Someday we'll all be together once more, when all of the ships come back to the shore. I realize something that I've always known. I still call Australia home. Band, take it away. But no matter how far or how wide I roam, I still call Australia. I still call Australia. I still call Australia גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד גשר צר מאוד Wait in English wide world is a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge. The whole wide world is a very narrow bridge, very Shalom bimromah, oh yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromah. Shalom aleinu.